twins, like
Yeah. Go ahead.
go ahead. Nah, you was talking.
I'm saying, yeah, I was about to
Yeah,
ask you
nah,
about
my
your
twins,
twins.
like they named O'Shea and Cree. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They named O'Shea and Cree. They part Switzerland, European, and indigenous. They live in like up north.
Up north, you said?
Yeah, I used to live up there for when I was going to school at Gettysburg. You know what I'm saying? I got to be a little nerdy than dirty at the same time. So
Respect, man. So it's like when remember I showed you that little screenshot of the brother who had told you about the alchemy thing? What was your first thought about that? Like you were surprised that he wouldn't know
show that
about
to
it?
me again. Yeah, show that to me again.
Hold on, let me go ahead and go on my Instagram. Oh,
Uh,
I accidentally exited out the thing. Oh, all right. About to go ahead and pull that up real quick because I want to paraphrase it. I want to go strictly
uh,
from word from word.
that's
I
the
want to
bro I
share.
talked to, the native that hit me. Like he found me on Instagram and hit me
Oh,
up.
he did?
Yeah, that's the one that gave us the flame and the roses.
Yeah.
I think that's
This
him.
one, you see this right
Yeah,
here?
I think that's buddy right there.
It
Yeah, I'm talking
says,
about the picture. What's the picture at?
oh, the picture? Oh, snap. What do you
Yeah.
mean the pic? I'm confused. Like, oh, you talking about what
Did
it
he?
was?
Okay, okay. I thought he sent you a picture. My
Oh, no.
mistaken is when he reached out to you about it, he had sent you a picture. That's my fault.
Oh, no, you get it's like he was saying, can Bobby do a series on the alchemy of words? And I said, I'll send this to him. And that's exactly what I did just to, hit you up about it because I guess when you get into the alchemy and all that, or like with the rappers or with the cross, it's like, hold on, I had this one thing pulled up. It's like with the Mason thing. Hold on, let me go ahead and do that. It's stuff that
I
we don't
can
know
talk a
about.
little bit about it now. Like it's easy to show you the alchemy of words. It's like live and live are spelled the same, Live, and nobody actually wonders
Oh
why
shit.
you can. Nobody ever wonders for real. Nobody ever wonders why you have to say them differently, but people adapt to them differently, and most people don't see that as an alchemy, but it really is.
So this you
Just
see this right here?
yeah,
The
the
I've been
steps.
seeing.
That's a good thing. That's. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You was talking.
Oh no, Mo Factz had. I saw Mo Factz pull this up on his YouTube community about the. He talked about the milk crates, being similar to that. But can you explain the steps though? Can you experience
Yeah,
with it?
the steps. The steps is like the higher your degree is, and then since they're doing that mentally, the people who did this challenge, if it, especially if it's propaganda, they're seeing the degrees of people, especially if he sees it as symbolism like he does like this. It's a degree of people, society's degree, basically. They're seeing as a whole the degree of society, especially in particular projects. It's basically being done in the projects. And basically, if you want to know word alchemy, the word project means what? Remember, I told you about how words are spelled the same, but over here
Project.
they give. Sorry about that. Again. Say it again.
No, project and project is that the same
Nah,
word?
project and project. Like you do a school project, but you can go to the projects at the same time. The words are spelled
Oh,
exactly the same.
yeah.
Like, so people don't grasp that the definitions they give you are the lameness and dumbed down definitions. That's what the dictionary that they give you is. But the words that have like the actual source that they use them all, say, like when you speak in political, the terms that they use amongst themselves when they speak like that, like a person, entities, and things of that nature, people don't really catch how much they say the word entity a lot. They'd be like, the government is one sole entity, or they'd be like, the government is this type of entity. An entity is actually what? It's actually an essence or a spirit. So if the government is an entity and it's a Roman Empire, that means it is a Roman entity at the end of the day.
Okay, and now how these words get misconstrued? Like, when somebody's saying a specific language, a specific word, and they don't know the true meaning behind it. Can you give an example off on that from rappers or from your experience or for whatever?
Or basically, society as a whole, they've been indoctrinated. That's the alchemy of indoctrination. That's the alchemy of what they would consider magic over someone's mind. If you've been indoctrinated to go outside of the language that you've learned and listen to the words I'm fixing to say, to understand and to be taught a language that someone else made up, not God, someone else naturally made up, from their alphabet to how you put the words together. Remember, I told you how words are spelled the same, but they give society the different definitions. Well, what about spelling? What do you do when you do alchemy or you do what they consider ritual. You spell. You have to spell things in order to cast it out. So when you're spelling and talking, that's why they say don't say certain things, words hurt. When you spell, that means the essence is hitting your spirits. But when they be like it got you out of your character, that means that it hit your flesh and knocked you out of character. It means that it didn't hit your spirit, it hit your flesh, which just means to do, and it got you to be your flesh, which is who you are not actually.
Okay, it cast spells. Yep, exactly. So it's like, can you explain like with the 33 degree? That's what it's called, and
Yeah,
this.
33 degrees. Go ahead, my fault.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, explain that right there to me, brother, and all that.
Well, go up. I need you to go to that middle picture, and like right above that one diagonally. Go
This one right
down,
here.
right? The one
This
below
one.
that one. The one
This.
beside that one to the right.
This one.
That one. So those
Okay.
names on the side is the degrees you go through. But it's tricky though. Remember I said there's a duality to everything. Go to the one with them standing on the checkerboard.
On checkerboard right here. Okay, got you. Boom.
No, at the top, the one in the middle. My fault.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. You're right.
checkerboard. See, okay, the duality is most of those people in there are in a society, they know something about it. Everybody don't get what's actually going on. So the duality is those who are standing on the checkerboard, like the people on the chairs and stuff, they use it for the duality purpose. That means they can go into the what they consider dark side, or they can appear as light at the end of the day as well. That's why the word Illuminati means enlightened one. They know how to use the alchemy of wisdom, which is on the unfathomable scale, meaning if you indoctrinate somebody to something, you basically have to strip them of who they are, MK Ultra. That's how you create another person. That's how the Americans was created. If you strip whoever you create a society with of who they are and put them on what you've made from your ideology, then boom, there you go, MK Ultra, and you create alchemy, alphabet, education, a society, and the whole system ran by what you say. So, and you have a game to enforce, which the words enforce means to do against someone's will, to enforce what you say, and if you don't, they can send that gang after you. Matter of fact, they gang control the blocks 24/7.
And I'm questioning to you because I know this was like a little. I don't know, but back then it just. I saw some indigenous people in the Mason thing, you know, like the stuff, little sticker on the back of their car and everything. And then as I
It's
had
good.
got older, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I cut you off. I keep cutting you off. That's rude, bro. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. I think it's a lag and all that, so don't worry about it. But what I want to say is that what he was talking about with indigenous people being a masonry is that are they a real one or are they a full one or how does that work? Is there a skin complexion law or something?
That's the energy they need. Like that's just like commercials. If you take every commercial except certain types, you got to have one of us in it because it's the energy that it brings. Remember they said that they use us to sell stuff. What do you think they use? The energy, the dancing, the artistic ways. That's the energy. You can't think of stuff like you think of stuff like that. Not that you can't, but that you think of stuff like that. When you think of something and bring it from your mind into your hands and into this world, that's alchemy. You brought something from inside your mind you thought of to out here in your hands. You brought it from thin air, technically.
All right, and do you know like a brother? Shouts out to Deep Impressions, but he had talked to me behind the scenes, and he had showed like matter of fact, we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there right now.
Go ahead. So that's like people don't understand. It's like
Right here.
you see.
Go ahead, I'll let you
Go
talk.
ahead. No, go ahead. I can say that later. Talking about the hand
These
symbols. Yeah,
handshakes.
that was the
Explain
first
that.
language. The first language was symbolism and telekinesis. So these people have, like I said, they know the true. They study the unfathomable scale of knowledge, the forbidden knowledge, what we was mainly going off of before ideologies and conquering started going on. So that you see how it all ties in together. If you learn the main course of what guides people, the knowledge that guides people, and you use it for yourself, you can get basically a whole society or people to do whatever you want them to. So you have to learn how to use the wisdom, and this is how they're using it. They use it in symbolism. So like I said, when they're on the news and they're talking, like the word, this is the words they get to draw people in. They use lameness words like hope. We're going to come here and do this for you, and we have this for you. But then when they're talking to each other amongst themselves, they'd be like, every person in my jurisdiction. And when they say words like jurisdiction, when they switch and start using what people consider big words, even small words like jurisdiction, that's when they're speaking in another language towards each other. That's when they start making symbols or shaking hands and shit of that nature. They even got
Okay.
a symbol called a hidden hand. There's a symbol called a hidden hand where they put their hand in their shirt like that and they leave their thumb out. Bro, when we was little, like if people remember meeting certain people when you was little growing up in school or certain adults and they'd be like, hey, you're good, you got potential, or like older men, like they knew you didn't grow up with a father, or you seen those dudes who didn't grow up with fathers and shit, and they had like some mentor type dudes like want to shake their hand all the time and they didn't just pick anybody. That's scouting. They see you since you were a child. Like this is like
Okay.
this is Hogwarts out here. People just don't realize ever since you're little, that's why they be like, you got to do good in school because they're watching you. Everybody like, who the fuck? And they give you an excuse and say it's colleges. Nah, it's not colleges. Colleges are just falling in line to do shit so they can keep account on how people's brain function and stuff move and see if society as a whole. That's how they can separate people. If you don't fall in line like this, then you're automatically labeled dysfunction to society.
You see this right here? You not to go back off, but you right with that hidden hand thing. And it's like body language right there, but it's a meaning is universal with it, like how you broke it down. But damn, mind blown. Damn.
Bro, when I said I've been aware since I was a child, like I'll get into a full blown racist like adults at school. I'll get into a full blown adults in the hood. Like I didn't care. Like I didn't because to me people won't believe this, but since I've been here, something's like this the first thing that did sit right with me. I said, why is everybody following rules when nobody actually knows what's going on? That doesn't make any sense. I said, and why would everybody learn the same thing during school? That doesn't make sense either. I said, why is everybody learning the same thing? That shouldn't happen like that. So I just, bro, I told you I'll sit around and observe shit. That's what I did. I didn't like holidays; those freaked me out. Man, like stuff like that, human wise, that stuff freaked me out. Like it completely freaked me out. Like my mom got pictures of me hiding behind the couch on my birthday one year. Bro, I'm serious. I was about to smack the cake over and everything. I was like, man, get that shit out of here, bro. What you doing?
Judy, you absolutely right. Judy, paintings of Napoleon are usually shown with the hidden hand in the front of his jacket. You absolutely right about that. I just learned about that just now. I'm like, wow. So
Hey,
she
y'all
know
wanna
about
know
the
some
hidden
crazy?
hand. Go ahead.
Y'all know some crazy shit. Whenever we start to get to know each other more comfortable, I can take y'all to the site to where these symbolisms are on universities and shit like that. I used to live downtown Connecticut, and that's Yale University's campus, and they do have the skull and bone symbols on their school. And like those movies you watch, to where it'd be like it'll show you certain pathways and stuff. Those shits actually exist.
All right. So with that, with the pathways, is there a way that where the human or somebody could see a symbol and subconsciously they'll pick it up and they'll put them in a different mind state or something? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Right now, Google scary movies that had to be stopped uh, due to spirits being brought to the scene, or haunted movies, or however that shit can go that you can pull it in. There's been a lot of movies that they put symbols in, and most of the movies already have symbols that are real in them. And when you see them, it activates some people. That's an MK Ultra as well. They got many ways of doing MK Ultra. Just like when they was doing those paranormal movies and shit, they had to stop some of those scenes because those shit based on true events. They used real books. Like some of those use real books. Like I don't know how to put it in. Like that's one. Go the second row over to the right. I just made a post about that not too long ago. Go back up. The one with the horse head and body in between the black and white. Second row in the middle.
Right here.
Now, yeah, that movie
What's up?
has killed like over a double digit number of people after they watched it.
And can you explain why is that though?
The symbolism on the front, the symbolism in the movie, that the frequencies in the movie are certain pitches. Scary movie frequencies are actually frequencies from lower frequencies like that. All this stuff has been studied to attract you in the movies. That's why they put certain sounds in movies. They've studied that psychologically. If you break down the Congress people, their job isn't to be Congress. They have other jobs like philanthropy, psychologists, accountant, and stuff of that nature. Their whole job together is the Congress. So you got to see what each sector, you got to see the people in the chairs and you got to see what they studied in high school. Then you go What did they study in college? What did their family believe in? What did they believe in after they left their family? Just to know who's putting what type of information in front of your face. And people be like, well, you can't believe everything you read. Okay, if you don't want to say, if you want to say that, I'll tell you to go study who they learned after, and then go study who they learned after. And then after that, go study who they put in charge just to spread this information to everyone else.
Deep. And another thing, you heard about binaural beats that they put inside malls or in bathrooms, high-end bathrooms. They have binaural beats, the beta, the delta, the alpha mode, and
Yeah,
all that.
the frequency is
Yes.
like it's like 420 to 720, I think. Some of them just 720 and higher, like that. They call it elevator music, but it's not. It's actually it's a frequency of what they would say high maintenance people listen to.
Yeah, and then they use that actually in certain high-end shopping centers, so it could keep you in that, the creative
That
stance,
mode,
so you could shop more.
yeah.
Go ahead.
That's the psychology. Certain stores have certain colors on it. If you actually look around, everything will start to turn digital to you. That means like the scene behind you, everything will turn into information. Most places, food places use the same colors. They just arrange it in different orders so it doesn't appear like that. Most shopping places use the same type of advertisement with wording. They just place their folders or advertisement in different sections of their windows and stuff. See what I'm saying? It's just that. And then most colors don't exist. Certain colors don't exist. You got to mix two colors together. And then on top of that, since naturally they don't mix themselves, and like I said, the person who was in charge of education and the indoctrination, like, listen, you are in charge of making sure this conquering happens. So you need to create an educational system. He is the person that started this color curriculum. He went out to people who were natural artists on a spiritual level and asked them about this. All this stuff falls in the line of that type of counsel.
So all this, the color psychology, that's who invented it. You saying that's not invented, but that's who helped find it.
Nah, open another tab and be like founder of psychology of advertisement. Or you could put the founder of government psychology, and it'll tell you who created the education. Or you could put the founder of educational system or founder of like there's a lot you can put in it that leads you to this. Say that again.
John B. Watson.
See, and that's the person. And then you go look at what he studied and what he believed in. There's a person who created clocks, time zones, time. Man, there's a person for all of that.
All right, so John B. Watson, we'll go ahead and click on him. And we go to the all behaviorist views. Was an American psychologist who conducted psychological research into advertising, amongst other things. So he's pretty much responsible for when you leave in Walmart, you get into the cashier, you see candy like right by the cashier, and miscellaneous stuff right there.
Bro, the advertisement of things, period. Like how to psychologically sell to people. Google this. How do they say it? How to sell to Negroes. There's a psychology behind it.
That was on that YouTube thing. All right, let me go ahead and put it. That's a psychological analysis.
Before, how they described back in the days, so this is where it led from. So think about this dude and what time he was living in. And then when you go to that, think about putting two and two together. That's the same era.
We going there tonight.
That's the same era. The exact same era. See what I'm saying? That's the same era. So he had to learn from that. He had to learn from that person.
I'm gonna go to like as soon as they say the beginning.
Go ahead.
Big, really big, because it's bound to have a terrific impact on business. I'm talking about a new market, a big new market. Millions upon millions of new prospects with $15 billion to spend.
Pause.
$15 billion.
Go ahead, my brother.
How much is the black market worth today?
Like billions.
What did he just say? And what year is this?
I think this is 1954, and I think he said what, billions, right?
15? He has a new market that's going to be worth 15 billion. That's just then. So think about this. If they already had the psychology to set up a $15 billion organization, bro, look how swift they did this. They didn't try to rush it. They passed this down through centuries. First, like I described it, this is how you create a person, MK Ultra. You go there, conquer them, strip them who they are technically, mentally, put another person in there. You give them a label. You turn that label and exploitation into a foundation. And within that foundation, to exploit it and take people off the main center, you create a psychology. You do the alchemy of controlling someone's brain, which is basically hypnotism. Hypnotism leads to stuff like this.
Okay, and don't stop right there. Break down with hypnotism, because you know the propaganda behind that is like your arms stick off like a zombie, or you go to sleep and everything. Can you please get into depth of the hypnotism?
Has anybody ever seen that movie? Damn, it's a movie about three, but it's about three magicians or something like that. I forget the name of it, but I like it. But one of the people in the movie is a hypnotist. Damn, what's his name? It's the dude who played on White Man Can't Jump. I be forgetting his name. It's that dude, but he's the hypnotist. No, the white dude who played on there, his homeboy.
I'll find it right now.
When you find out, I'm gonna finish. I'll remember what I can say though. I just want to say his name right.
His name is Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, how did I forget that? Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson is the hypnotist on there. So his man, he's so slick with it that he can walk past you. He ain't got to bump into you. He can walk past you, whisper something in your ear, and hypnotize you for something that's gonna happen later down the road, for a word that you can use, like a word he can say, and it'll snap you into being one of his puppets, just like that.
Oh, you serious? Is it Now You See Me?
Yeah, Now You See Me. That's the shit. That's my shit. He's the hypnotist. Bro, he walked past the dude on the stairs. Said something in his ear. Later on, when he seen him again, he activated it so they can do what they was gonna do. Unactivated it afterwards.
Oh, so that is real. See, I believed in that. I didn't see it firsthand, but it's something the way they could program an individual, and when they're a child, and they'll train that child all the way to 15, and they'll put some type of programming within that individual to where it could live a natural life. You know, it could have wife, kids, and everything, and then activate and it could turn some assassins. It's like Salt, the movie Salt. You know what I'm saying, with Angelina Jolie.
That's real. Bro, they still got ninja children assassins. They got all kind of assassins. They still kidnap children. Some places they don't just have. Bro, everybody's focused on sex trafficking. I know that's bad, and I don't want to get the channel blocked because I said it. I'm sorry, YouTube. But they're not looking into other sectors. They're training children to be assassins and shit like that. Still, they just don't see it. I don't even want to go no more further into that. So I'm gonna just let you keep going because that shit will get you. Like,
we're gonna go ahead and keep playing this, and we're gonna go off the rail again. Don't worry.
That's a lot of money, isn't it? The surprising thing is that it's a fresh market, still full of opportunities. It grew up so fast, got so big in a hurry, that few of us realize its scope. Now, these days, nobody's likely to pass up chances to sell. And yet right here in our own front yard, there's a neglected market. There's money waiting to be spent. To get the story of this market, to be able to tell you the secret of selling the Negro, we did a lot of digging. We talked to leading businessmen, to customers, and to salesmen. We went to Washington, D.C. We set up cameras and other key points around the nation. And out of this all, there emerged a story. A story of a new market.
Yep.
You heard he said they've been using that technology of cameras for the longest. So that's why I said, and then listen to how he's speaking, everyone. This is how they code switch at the end of the day. The way he's using his lettering, he's speaking to a specific audience. Now, when he tells them how to sell, you will see the language will be different, but you also need to see how they study. This is what makes people think that other people are ahead of them. No, it's just daily. They do things like this to know what's around them. At the end of the day, they have to. They got to learn how to keep the fuck up. It's not natural. On top of that, he gave a key word instead of having to saying the poor people. He said the neglected, and that's a key factor for certain people at times to automatically know who that is.
Okay, I like how you break it down the language behind it too. You doing verbal communication as we speak right now, see? Because back then the neglected was used. Like, yeah, I overlooked that.
No, you got it. Go ahead. We good.
Hey, Bobby, is this still a thing that when people put their last names in front of their house or their property? Is that oh, okay?
Hey,
So
if I
that's
walk
like
through
a
the
little.
neighborhood, if I walk through the neighborhood I'm in now, well, you would die laughing.
Yes, this is the market we're talking about, the new Negro family. Their name is Wells or Wilson, Smith or Brown or Alexander or Breen. They live in Chicago.
I explain this right here. Like, so what happened? This is 1954, 2021. Oh man, oh it would have been way different looking now. But this was the poster child of the the Negro family, how they would say it.
No, the new. See, that's why I'm glad you caught on to that. The new now, there's a new definition for the new Negro, and you don't even see that shit. But this is their language. You got to see from their perspective at the end of the day how they word shit. And in order to see the difference between back then how they separated, they're advertising how they see people. Put it like that. So they're advertising their projection around the world so everybody can collectively be on the same page.
I'm gonna keep playing, Bobby.
In Atlanta or New York, in Detroit, St. Louis, Los Angeles, any one of 1,000 cities and towns. All over the country, families such as this are enjoying new prosperity. They have new interests, new standards of living, a buying power they've never enjoyed before. They're good prospects for practically all types of goods and services. All too often, though, they're overlooked prospects. Why? Because
I ain't see no 13 extensions or no. Let me stop, really stop.
Yeah, you're gonna get us fucked up. Hey, you know what's crazy that people don't realize the wording they're using today to make it okay for certain people to go certain places. They're using it today. They're letting them know they're friendly, they're good to sell to. They're not the same, basically, is what they're saying. How they're advertising. They have new perspective, money they never seen before. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Exactly. Okay, that's a good way. That's advertised, like how you said. They're making it.
But it's not advertising to them. It's them talking to each other and keeping in touch collectively. They've been using FaceTime for the longest. You got to think about it. They it's like they sort of invented FaceTime because if on a collective they stay towards the people as a collective, if they stay in the same ideology together, and that's how they do it by advertising who is friendly to them now. Think about that as FaceTime. It's like, oh, okay, my people need me to talk to my other people, so we're gonna get on the screen and, you know what I'm saying, send it to them like that.
That boy's spitting tonight.
For some good, valid reason? No. They're overlooked because of mistaken ideas, because of out-of-date ideas about how the Negro lives and how he...
Told you, stop. I just finished saying that. I literally just been saying that. He said about the ideas of how the Negro used to live. So that specific wording literally is telling you they're advertising a separation right there.
The matter is that the Negro lives pretty much the same as other folks. He buys pretty much the same way, too. But just the same, a lot of old doubts and opinions keep cropping up over and over again.
I don't like to do business with Negroes. They're drifters. You can't keep track of them.
Yes, although a lot of people think that way, the truth is that 1 out of every 3 Negro families living in cities today owns its own home. That figure comes directly from the United States Bureau of Census.
Maybe so, but Negroes are poor credit risks.
Not more of a credit risk than any other group. Actually, the Negro homebuyer meets his payment.
Well, like they've been doing that in the 50s where they like it's like they're pre-answering questions in their head. They're answering the questions that they will already be asked by the people who own businesses trying to sell, you know. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like, go ahead.
They create a red line doing that. That's why they keep saying that. It's like that's called red line. Every time you ask them something about a property area, they cut it off or something. So that line was building a red line. That's how they invented red line.
Much faithfully, often more faithfully than other race groups in the same economic level. That's the information we got from people who ought to know, the National Association of Real Estate Boards.
Well, maybe, but I've always heard that Negroes buy shoddy, poor quality merchandise.
No, it's just the other way around. According to leading researchers, in proportion to population and income, Negroes buy more quality products than any other comparable United States group. You see, there are a lot of confused notions about the Negro customer. But when you dig right down and find out about them, they just don't hold water. Negroes own homes. They meet their payments faithfully.
Stop.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You hear how they say they don't hold water?
Yeah, go ahead, break that down for me.
Money is water. That's why they say money flows through your hand like water. Remember that thing I was going to teach, that was going to let us hear about the two different type of laws, but that's going to be some Patreon shit because that's a little long and that's factual. It teaches you about the two main laws that govern every law everywhere. So money is like water. Water is actually currency. What do you get when you're in the ocean? You get a current. If you get too much flow, you get a currency flow. What do you get with money? A currency flow when you get too much of it.
Oh, that's breaking it down. And yeah, this is for educational purposes, y'all in the chat right here. We have to go over this. We have to see this. We have to go back to the roots and learn this. So we scientists, all of us are scientists with this, so we can see that.
Alchemists don't claim nothing pseudo, so they don't flag you. So they'd be like, you giving false teaching. We're holistic alchemists. That's what you can call us at the end of the day. But we can go back. Can you hear me now?
Say liquid alchemist. That's the word I gotta use.
No, I say holistic alchemist.
Holistic, HOLLISTIC.
Yes.
Holistic alchemist. Okay, I apologize, y'all. I just had messed up and I lied. We are holistic alchemists.
Yeah, so we don't get the page flag. What we do, I'm trying to get it out there so the algorithm won't try to flag it for nothing like the wording. What we do is we'll tell you things from intuitive natures and intellectual observation, and then go back and show you the proof through the indoctrination as well. So that's what alchemy is. That's what being holistic is. They try to discredit the holistic people, but they be like, give us the proof if you're so good at what you do. And what you study so deeply and you're that good at it, show us your intelligence. And that's what we're doing right here.
That's heavy. I appreciate that. Thank you. That was lifesaver.
Buy good brands of merchandise. So why let a lot of old-fashioned ideas hurt profits? Take a look at the real facts. Here in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, some amazing facts and figures about this new market have been uncovered. For a first-hand report, we would like to take you directly to the United States Department of Commerce to hear this story from the Secretary of Commerce himself. Here is the Honorable Sinclair Weeks, the Secretary of Commerce of the United States.
In the Department of Commerce, we are constantly alert to trends that mean a healthier national economy, better business for the nation as a whole. Recently, we have been interested in a rising young market, one that...
This is the foundation. This is the foundation of what everybody wants to get in control of today, the black business. This is what he literally set out his own map on. This day you're watching this man say, we have a foundation of a new business. And this comes from the transportation of turning your identity into a race, and race does not have any actual rights under God because that's a man-made ideology, so they can do what they want because of the word. They created it. It put point blank period. So this is how they motion things into laws and stuff like that. But there's books and stuff you can actually buy and go find that's going to cost you, and they're actually getting rid of them. And we'll talk about stuff like that on the Patreon as well.
Ooh.
Represents a huge potential for goods and services. I'm referring to the new Negro market. The tremendous buying power of this group is backed, of course, by an increased earning power. The average Negro family's income is at a record high. In fact, since 1939, it has increased more than the average income of all other Americans. Just take a look at a few figures. An official Department of Commerce report shows that at least 1/3 of the Negroes living in cities earn from $2,000 to $5,000 a year. Today, the average Negro wage earner brings home a paycheck 4 times larger than the one he collected in 1939. As a whole, the Negro market has a total income of about $15 billion every year. And after taxes, Negro families still
Hey,
have
pause it.
many billions of dollars.
Hey, now y'all me answer that question. Everybody wanted to know who they in $1 trillion of debt to, and they keep playing. Now you see how it added up.
Man, what the? That is crazy, man. You good? You want me to keep pushing?
Yeah, go ahead.
To spend. Here is a buying power that cannot help but have a tremendous effect on our national economy and on
Yeah, pause it one more time.
prosperity
Pause it one more time.
All right. Yo, you hear me?
Oh, yeah, while he's talking, you got to think about what they're putting in motion at this time. They have psychologists of all foundations preparing for this type of warfare. So this is psychological warfare being prepared on different levels. They got the level of education, they got the level of marketing, they got the level of housing, they got the level of districts, they got the level of property. These are all psychologies you have to learn in order to sell and use as advertisement if you want to own a market or start anything at that foundation. So anytime they start something like that or have something like that, remember, there's a psychology for each department.
Especially if you're trying to be a Rockefeller or Andrew Carnegie or something. But I got questions right here for you, Bobby.
But
Wes said, I missed who this was made for. Other white ad executives? That's what he asked.
no, this was made for a collective. When they advertise like this, you got to think about at that time who was the only people watching news and stuff like this besides the elders who was wanting it, who was informed like we were, who stayed tapped in. But other than that, when people like they say nowadays, only certain people watch the news because that's how they follow and who they follow. That's the truth. That's what like they be like Trump was racist. He wasn't racist. It's like he's telling people to do stuff. No, this is how things have been set before even the government was made. Like this is how you got two people to split up at the end of the day. These are the two different beliefs of these ideologies at the end of the day. It doesn't make it's only difference by how they present them to each other. So they've been doing this for the longest. Like it's nothing new.
Heavy. I got one more question for you. I think Wes answered from, but he said, can you ask Bobby if it's true that babies get their footprint stamped at birth so they have no legal claim to land being seen as a corporation?
Bro, all that stuff is not actually legal. It's enforced. Before then, you were supposed to keep records of your own heritage and stuff like that.
Way
keep
back.
records. Yeah, they keep records on you because they do turn you into a corporation and stuff like that. In order, no, you're welcome, no problem. But in order to you put it like this, and this is gonna sound deadly. YouTube, this is just for educational purposes only. Your birth certificate is made on money. The letters on your birth certificate and your social security is on a stock exchange. Everyone has a net worth. So you are actually a corporation. Anything with numbers like that is a corporation. So once items go out of sale, which they're useless as they can be now, they're going to try to put people up for sale. Like you are actually a market. That's why you play in a yard. That's why they had children when you grew up. You play in a yard, a stock yard. Everything has like a message in it for a reason or a subliminal stroke in it for a reason. They know how to use the word. They know how to use the alchemy of first language.
Man, that is some bull. Hey, quick question though. Don't the birth certificate, is it made out of the same material they make money out of? Because you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
little
it's
oh
the same
crazy.
material. Like if you know how to own your person, you can actually go cash that shit in because if you think about it, each of those people have a bank account in their name that you don't get to use the money for. That's basically your life. Every time you're like, when they be like, fathers didn't sign a birth certificate. Well, that's actually good because on the paper it says you're an informant. That means you told on the spirit for entering this realm and it can't roam freely and live like it's supposed to. Like the information they're gonna hear about maritime and land sea law and why the ships are named her and stuff like that, it's gonna be wild. But yeah, that's why they have to report you. It's an entity keeping track on what comes. It's a monopoly on God sending people down here and stuff like that, and it's not good.
That's heavy right there. That's heavy. You gonna keep it pushing though. Let me know when to stop, okay?
All
Gentlemen,
right.
when these dollars are spent for a wide range of goods, services, and employment, business everywhere is bound to feel the impact.
This new buying power has resulted in a class Negro market, a profitable, above-average income group of consumers. For example, the nation's largest newspaper and magazine research organization, Daniel Starch and staff, reports these significant figures. More than 51% of the readers of Ebony magazine have a record player in their homes.
Pause it.
Almost 64% own a television.
What's up?
All right. What is the two things today that are attached to the selling brand of what's considered the Negro, which is becoming to be the native again? What is the two things? What is the first thing that child grabbed when the scene came on?
What is the two things a child had on?
No, what is the one thing the child grabbed when the scene has started?
Oh snap! I wasn't paying attention. Let me go back. Was it a gun? A toy gun?
No, it was a record player. And I said, what is the two biggest selling things today to us still?
Oh, record players, like music.
Yep, and stuff that has gossip in it. But they turned the Ebony magazine into love and hip hop and shit like that. But what did they say? How did they get that information? They had psychologists go around and find it. So they meaning they were spending their spare time watching you and turning it into information.
So they've been experimenting, watching.
Yeah.
Our people, they like to mostly gossip and they like to listen to records. So
let's
and they
find
just
a way
transform
to
it.
incorporate that. Yo, let's find a way to incorporate that.
Oh, yep, exactly.
In their homes. Almost 64% own a television set. And almost 78% enjoy the convenience of an electric refrigerator. It is also a fact, and this is from the magazine The Food Field Reporter, that Negroes spend almost $3 billion a year for food alone. Per capita, they buy more cosmetics, drugs, and toiletries than anyone else in the country. And their children are better educated, too, because since 1930, enrollment in Negro colleges is up 2,500%.
Pause it.
But
Yeah, go ahead, man. What's up, man? Talk to me.
Those colleges was the reservations we were supposed to have to today. If you go look up Howard, it was founded by Negro natives at the end of the day. And once again, what irritates me, I'm trying not to sound pissed off, but what irritates me is how they studied it so much to the point to where they even put it down to the commodities of how to disenfranchise that, but don't disenfranchise the eating market and stuff like that as well.
really, to recognize the importance of this class Negro market, we must realize that something has been happening economically in our country. People are on the move. The population is shifting. The makeup of metropolitan populations today is different than it was just a few short years ago. To give you a better idea of what we mean, we set up several cameras, candid cameras, in a number of shopping
You said they've been using cameras a lot.
Take a look at these shoppers. Notice what a large proportion of them are Negroes. What's the reason? It's simply this. Negro families are moving into the cities.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, so they're using cameras then. How long do you think they've been using them to keep track on your neighborhoods, on how you move, how you think? How many houses you think has been built that's actually have cameras already in them and shit like that too?
Oh yeah, I have found out on the dark web too. They do be having some installation of people staying. Yeah, it gets real, man. Hold on, give me a second. I gotta get this dog, man. God, dog, man. It's freaking bull.
But yeah, let's play with some words real quick, y'all. Like, let's look at how the alchemy of words work. You can spell live and live, and it's the same word. But if you flip both of those words backwards, it's spelled evil as well. You can say the word peace and peace, and they're the same words, but they're spelled differently. You can spell the words. What else could you use? There's a lot of words. I just don't want to like spoil all the big stuff. What's another word you could use? Live. My fault. Let me do this last one. Live. The word L-I-V-E-D. L-I-V-E-D. Yeah. Spelled backwards is devil. So if you put the words live and live, well, lived and live backwards, it'll say evil devil.
Wow. Wow. And well, sagging backwards.
Yeah, that's the alchemy of words. It's a double, and it's called an anagram. It's a double anagram.
See, I don't know what that means right there, Bobby.
Have you ever watched the movie Angels and Demons or As Above, So Below, or anything
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Which one, Angels and Demons?
Angels and Demons one. What's the
Yeah.
reference to it though?
So the anagram, when he brought them that paperwork and it said Illuminati, I mean, he was like, we don't know what this means. He said it's an anagram. It's a double inscription of two words marked into one.
Oh, so that's pretty much that's what you're saying with the sagging and all that. Okay,
Yeah,
dang.
bro, that was his job. What we're doing now, that's what his job was on the movie. He went to school for the alchemy of symbolism to the highest level to where the Vatican would have to call him. So think about when shit get bad to where they start mixing both realms together and our section need people to call. This is why the people who will listen to us now, we're going to teach them to do their homework behind us and become their own intelligence. So when shit gets like that, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's for me to have people I can go to and shit like that, that I can actually be like, all right, this is a new type of life. This is a new type of resource for me and people that I can link with actually.
Heavy, man. Dang, hold on, let me see what's up. Hold on. So it said, I have learned so much of Mr. Podcast. He must be an epic
Hey,
realm.
I'll go on
Yeah.
Moe Factz. I'll go on Moe Factz page. Yeah, all three of us can get on there if they want to. I'll go on everybody's platform. So, and that's the best way to make money too with people if we all get on each other's platforms and shit like that. When I get my equipment straight, it may look like I'm talking to y'all from that, but I'm really on my phone and shit. I just got these headphones and wireless earbuds in. But when I get my equipment straight, I don't mind having just random people. I'll have random people on there too, but I'm sorry, we rambling. My fault.
No, you good, man. Go ahead. They because they appreciate you. They from Adam Curry to I think was it Adam Curry, Moe Factz, and to me, yeah, they're loyal supporters. You know, they've been since day one, especially Wes and Judy, and there's much
Bet.
more too. Yeah.
But let's
Moe
get
Factz
back
said
to
you're
because I
more than
told y'all,
welcome.
bet Mo know how it is, boy. We get on there, and boy, they say you sound like me, so we get on there, boy, acting like we in the Dale of the F again. We're gonna be tripping the fuck out. I'm sorry, I cussed
You
too.
get it, bro. All right, let's get it.
where there are more job opportunities. Here they find occupations with more prestige and security, jobs that pay more money. As a result, Negro families today often make up the largest part of Central City consumer prospects. A shoe store in Chicago's Loop, for example, reports that more than 50% of its customers are Negroes. In another case, a drugstore located at a transfer point in a non-Negro neighborhood finds that its Negro customers total 25%. The trend is plain. The new Negro families today are moving into more populated areas, to the cities, where there are more stores, more buying opportunities. Since 1940, in San Francisco alone, the Negro market has increased by 89%. In Chicago, by 81%. Houston, Texas,
Dang.
But we don't got
45%.
to go through all of this. It's too long.
Oh no. You good. I'm gonna fast forward to where this part. This is what I was gonna get
But
to.
go
Where
ahead,
he put on the hat. Go ahead.
You good?
Opinion of
I just want to play a part where he put on a hat, and I just want you to break it down because I saw this a while back for real.
men who have spent a lifetime studying the buying habits of customers the world over. Here is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's
Bet.
nothing
Stop it.
unusual about
Stop it.
that.
You see that? That dude trying to get fly.
Okay.
Right?
This goes back to the reference of them studying us like the people I tell you like Eugene Robertson and how they say we have over 40 million styles. That's where the before knowledge comes into play and they're applying it now. So since they know we have a natural spiritual like spirited nature or they're studying how it works, they know that at the end of the day they're not dressing a body. We got to find out how to intrigue what's inside that. We got to find out how to twerk that natural essence within that body. So it's basically an alchemy on your brain work, on your brain function, and it goes along with your physical nature because they already got you shaped to believe that you're a certain person. All right, we got to learn how to shape the DNA that can change them back too. So we got to learn how to put a block on that. So what they did was study your spiritual styles, and then boom, from there they'll break down basically from clothing from nations that we come from and stuff like that, and make duplicates and different newer fashions out of it from their point of view. So it's a replica.
That is some deep. I'm telling you, because like, how many? 40 million or 90 million? He said.
What you mean, styles?
Yeah, styles.
We have over 40 million styles.
Oh man, I'm gonna keep it pushing.
People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real and important one. It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits. 3 habits in particular play a big part in every sales transaction. To begin with, most Negroes buy by brand. They ask for products by name. They're quick to turn down off-brands. Do you wonder why? Well, listen to what this customer is thinking.
All right, Bobby, you about to be up?
That last hat I bought just didn't hold up at all.
You see, for a long time, the Negro has been sold a lot of shoddy, second-class merchandise. So now he asks for name brands in order to make sure he gets his money's worth. Buying by brand, that's the first important Negro buying habit. Now for the second. The Negro buys good quality merchandise. Symbols of quality and prestige are very important to the Negro customer. This woman, for example, is buying fine crystalware, but she is also buying the admiration and approval of her friends and relatives. Listen to her thoughts.
My, isn't it beautiful? I can hardly wait to show it to Sally and Joan.
It's a well-known fact that many Negro customers are influenced by the opinions of others. What their friends may think of a certain item often decides whether or not the sale.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
That was a double propaganda move. Basically, he knew that other people, what they would consider a color at the time, were going to watch that. So they're playing gossip at the same time, or they're playing outdoing each other with that propaganda, because nobody thought that shit at the end of the day. That was some shit that it's just like when females started thinking that guys wanted females a certain way because advertisement said that shit. It's the same format. So that's basically what advertisement is as well. You got to see the double propaganda in the wording as well. And then on top of that, they don't even go around you like that. And they don't, you know what I'm saying? They didn't used to have, how can I say this? The psychology of them is used to having nice things, but in this century that they're reborn in, they're not used to having nice things. So they're not sitting around the neighborhoods before they got it, hearing them say stuff like, oh, I'm going to get this because they don't have it.
That's where it all originated from right there. And then the jewelry store too, right here. No, that's like a glass. What is it called? Like a Chinese? Is that jewelry or is that like?
That's a glass shop with glasses like wine glasses, cups.
Okay, all right. And then I'm gonna keep it moving a little bit more, and I'm gonna go ahead and stop it.
Sale is made.
Go ahead.
So remember, the Negro buys quality merchandise. That's the second important point. And here's the third thing to remember when selling to a Negro customer. When he specifically asks for one thing, don't try to sell him something else. Don't try to switch him at the point of sale. If you do, he'll probably react something like this.
Doesn't he think I've got the money to pay for it?
There's a reason for this reaction. Again, because he's had experience with cheap merchandise, the Negro resents being offered a substitute. He wants to be sold on quality, not price. The Negro buys by brand, he buys quality, and he doesn't like to be switched at point of sale. These are the keys to selling the Negro customer.
All right, and I'm just gonna leave it like that, man. You know. So
what make it so bad on top of that, I'm sorry to cut you off, but around that time they didn't even know they was being experimented on. You can tell by the way that woman looking at him, like at the end of the day, like y'all don't even fuck with us like that. So you start to sell us shit too.
It's a commercial. It says just for a commercial for you to be a star, you know. And that's because you can tell.
Even in the commercial, they're not used to being around each other. Her face says it all. Like rewind it back just a few seconds and then look at her when they agreeing with each other.
Oh, this is fakery right here. I'm about to say, hold on. Which one? Right here. All right.
Whether or not
No, it was earlier.
Earlier?
It was the last girl when she was agreeing with him. Yeah, right here and there. Like when they get a close up of her shaking her head, like she, like, see how I'm saying? She didn't even want to make eye contact. That was back in the day. You don't make long eye contact.
Yeah, you know, this is around the Emmett Till era and all that.
Yeah, you don't make eye contact too long, and that's why it didn't happen.
Yeah. Hold on, break it down. I want to see where the discomfort is at. Hold on.
Right there, you see her like she like, man, like she looking like we don't even see eye to eye regularly on the outside of here. Outside of here, you wouldn't talk to me. Like it just on our face, you wouldn't talk to me. You gotta think, and nowadays they don't interact like that. They just like the advertisement is to start selling them things. So you gotta get them to come to the studio, and then them going someplace like that, always thinking something gonna happen to them. So
Polite
that's not a look of, yeah, that's not a smile of like I'm always used to seeing you all the time, or you always been nice like it is today. That's a smile of what the fuck's going on. There's a camera here and such and such. They don't know about acting. None of them know about acting back then. They see it on TV. They don't know that they're going to be on TV.
Exactly. Yes, that's just watching it on mute and all that, and just seeing how she was like she didn't even hold a, eye contact for 1.5 seconds. She just had broke it before you even reached
Like,
2 seconds. She broke it.
Yeah, don't even, you can watch it without it and just see their reactions towards each other. Like you see how he's being comfortable to make him feel comfortable and showing them new shit. It's like
Yeah, his arms.
Shit.
Man, this dude, you see how he holding it? You see how he's like he slouched away from him. What's going on up in here, man?
It's like caveman type shit. Like let me introduce you to this. You want to start buying stuff like this, shit like that.
Oh yeah, that's good, Judy, that you learned about the brown paper bag. I was taught about that when I was a child. You know, South Carolina side, and that is yeah, that's just some straight bull. I don't even know why they would even do some dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, like, it's like what the. I'm just gonna leave that alone right there. But that's just for another little. That's another one right there. Yeah, that's another vibe, man. We're gonna keep it pushing, but yeah, go ahead, man.
Nah, y'all, this is how the alchemy of words take place. And then you gotta think about this. The words we're using now aren't actual words. If you study each word that comes out of your mouth, it's either two words from one language put together, or two words from two different languages. But in order to learn how to grasp that and use it and separate it in your mind, that's for Patreon stuff. Because these are things before you start donating heavy to us that you're going to study and know that you're coming back and putting your guidance to become your own leader for a nation in your own hands as well, and in somebody else's hands.
That's cool. And yeah, so y'all wanted Bobby. He's definitely gonna keep coming. This is just scratching the surface. He got more he gonna do on the Patreon. We're gonna keep him in rotation right here because you talk to him. It's like a whole what's that show that people be drawn into? Not the Hunger Games. It's some show that's like back in the medieval times or something. It was on Netflix. And people used to watch it. It was called
Cruise. I can't even think of it now.
It's like the opposite of The Walking Dead. It was like famous. It was like some medieval times where the woman was getting like controlled by the men back then, and it was called.
What's the name of that TV
Hey,
show?
y'all in the chat, let me know, man. Y'all let me know in the chat, please. It's this. Now
everybody used to watch that shit too.
Everybody used to watch. I still haven't watched it, but it's like
I see some of it. But I don't watch stuff.
Man, what was the name of that, man?
Look,
not a means run. It's a show. Let me go and look it up. It's called Netflix.
No, we gotta think about it.
Bro, I say because it's not hit. It's on the tip.
I can think of it. Don't say it if you click. Don't say it if you look it up. I'm gonna think.
I still can't even find it. I can't. It's Game of Thrones. That's what it is. Game of Thrones.
Damn,
yeah.
Why'd you say it?
Game of Thrones. That's what it is. Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
When you talk, it's like
that's the type of shit I like. Like if y'all sit in a room with me and somebody can't remember something, that's the type of shit I'd be on. Like, nah, don't pick up your phone. We gonna think about this. We gonna see who come up with it first and dig deep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what it was right there. Game of Thrones. I don't know a lot of chips. That just been on the tip of my tongue. It's like it's the same way how I forget how to spell Berenstein Bears. I thought it was
That's crazy.
Berenstein. I think it must be the
Oh,
butterfly effect. Is spelled
the
differently.
Mandela effect. I'm gonna teach that
Mandela.
on the Patreon as well. I got stuff about that too. That's a whole nother subject. But shit, I gotta get to my little one before she go to bed, take her some shit. So I appreciate being on here. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Get ready for Patreon things. They will come sooner than later, but not soon, like an immediate. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Everybody who's learning, I want to see y'all grow into your full potential. So keep tuning in. Young Grump, I appreciate everything you do, and I'll holler at you some other time, bro.
All right, my native. Be easy. I appreciate you, man. Mean a lot, man. All right, y'all see what going. Listen, bro. Listen, dog. Like, do not get me started when it comes to this right here. All right. We just gonna leave that. That's for future. You know what I'm saying? I just want to put that out there for future reference. You know, I just want to just show y'all that. That was Bobby Cash. She's gonna be on here on rotation. I appreciate y'all for spending your time to watch this podcast because it was very meaningful, very educational, and very aware. How to sell to the Negro back then in 1954. And he said out of his mouth it was a stock of $15 billion. They predicted this from generations down to generations. You know, $15 billion in 1954. They were saying that. Can you believe that? Crazy? Yeah, crazy. But I'm gonna go ahead and take a step back and seeing what the temperature is in the chat, man. What y'all feeling, man? What's going on? How everybody doing up in here? Appreciate you, Wes. Thank you all for your support. Read that title again. It's important. Oh yeah, it is. How to sell to Let me go ahead and get it back. I had pulled up something that was way random. What do you think about that, Moe Factz? About that situation? Let me see his gas sound effect work. Okay, yeah. No, 2. How to sell to the Negro. That's what it is. Moe Factz, you can't be doing this right here. You gotta let me know what's up, man. Like, what's going on? How everybody doing up in that chat? Should I do open podcast tomorrow? I might do that tomorrow, man. Cause I may do that tomorrow. But yeah, like I said, I definitely appreciate y'all for stopping by. Let me know if I should do like a open podcast. I'm gonna hit Bobby on the back end. Not the Bobby, I'm at Moe Factz on the back end, see what's up, see how everything is. And we just gonna keep it copacetic, keep it pushing. But yeah. Till next time, y'all. Till next time.
What's up, girl?
I was just about to close out, and you done hopped in real quick.
Nah, because I wanted to get the title. I wanted to get the title straight right quick. Go read that title again, because your mind doing a trick on you.
Yeah, it is. Hold on, let me go back. I'm gonna go ahead. Let me share this real quick.
This is important. I'm not gonna hold you long, but it's important because you did it and you did it again, and I want you to see how your mind slipped the word in.
Let me go ahead and share it real quick, because y'all see it first here live. How to sell. No, the secret of selling the Negro. How to sell to the Negro.
The other one, the secret of selling the Negro.
That is one. The secret of selling the Negro.
Right. Not selling to the Negro, selling the Negro.
Oh, I didn't see that. I misread that one.
What they were trying to do is, how do you bring the Negro into American culture? How do you sell them on America?
The secret of selling the Negro. That's what it was really titled. But what it's trying to put it's trying to do this part right here. How to
somebody see they this is not about how you sell products to the Negro. This is selling Negroes on the idea of being consumers in America. So you got to understand this was not made to study the Negro. This was made to convince the Negro how to buy products in America, which America is based off nothing but consumerism.
Yeah, that caught me off guard right there. I didn't see that. I didn't see that one.
The secret of selling the Negro.
Like a stock.
If it was no. If I'm trying to sell you on something, I'm trying to sell you an idea, right?
Okay, so you want to take it like, I like to use movie references, but it's like kind of like the Wall Street, like, you know, trying to sell an idea. You saying like sell
right?
Okay, and keep going.
If I'm trying to sell, it says the secret of selling the Negro. If you had to fill in the rest of that title on America, what it would be, not selling to the Negro. This is not about selling products to the Negro. This is about shaping the new Negro's mind into getting into consumerism.
Okay, to buying stuff, consuming, you know, like the necessity of being inside the capitalism of America, introducing them into that idea that they created.
Correct, and this is not exclusive only to the Negro, but at the time we were the newest people into the consumer mindset.
Yeah,
I get black people. You get it now?
No, I get that because I don't want to. Some people get into it like, oh, why the hell are they talking about selling to us? Da da da. I get the idea. I look at it on a business capitalist form. It'd have been no different if they'd be like the secret of selling to the Chinese or whoever would have been in American soil at that time. I get what you're saying. They're trying to sell an idea, right? For them to be a consumer. Okay.
Right. Because this go back to what LJ be saying. America sells you on being a slave. If they let Negroes go unbothered, then you would save your money not spending on conspicuous consumption and saying need items that you didn't need, and that will allow them to have their own power base.
Yeah. So it's like bringing them in the corporation, bringing them in because they were making them a player pretty much, right?
Right. That's why when you go to Bank of America now, or Wells Fargo, whatever it's called, they're selling the Hispanic, how to sell the Hispanic.
Oh yeah,
because buy this, buy that. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's the latest group in, they can never. The real people that control this country, they never can let them establish a power base, an economic power base. So it's like, how do I tap into your resources? And what they do is they play on your pride, right? They're saying, well, black people, you want to buy something because if you don't buy it, then people might think you don't have the money to buy it. It's really reverse psychology is what's going on here.
That's deep, and I shouts out to my my amigos from Mexico. They actually, one of them had told me that they got credit on Visa now. You hear me?
Yeah.
They could build credit in America on a Visa. That's what he told me.
Right, but what does LJ say about credit? Credit is really
I get it. But I'm saying, yeah, but it's just the fact that this was recently. When you on a visa or something, especially for a job, you just hear and all that. You know what I'm saying? You get
you mean on visa? Okay, I understand what you're saying now. You're saying visa, when they're on visa, they can obtain credit. Of course they can.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I was like, what? That's just putting them in the system, making them a player. Be like, oh, you could be a player too.
Not a player, not a player, a slave. It's you can get some of this slave too.
I mean, yeah. I was thinking about a video game, be part of the game that they're playing. But yeah, I guess you use that word.
Well, no, because what I'm saying is, if this happens, if you let a group, you're saying that wasn't included in the group, be not included, no longer included in that group, bring them into the system, they build outside the system, then they become a threat to the system. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about what's the assimilation and bringing them in. And the way they use that is conspicuous consumption. And conspicuous consumption is I want people to see that I bought this, so it speaks to my value as a person, or speaks to what I'm saying, what I am as a person. Right, that's the opposite of the word inconspicuous. When you're inconspicuous, you're low key, right? You're not seen.
Exactly.
So conspicuous means you want to be seen.
And you said they just use reverse psychology to make them a slave of the,
Right, because notice in this show, they're being sold to by white people.
Yeah.
All the people on the other side of the counter are white. Now, this is 1954, when you used to have to go in the back door. But all of a sudden now, white people are selling to them. These high-class Negroes.
Yeah, it used to be a back door and all that, and now it was so who's the one who pulled the puppet strings to make the hands move like that, Moe Factz? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to ask yourself who makes money off of interest. And that'll answer your question. Exactly.
Okay.
Because you have, when they was going in that store, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't want him to think I don't have the money to buy it. So even if I don't have the money to buy it, let me get a line of credit. Line of credit equals interest. Interest equals usury. Usury equals debt. Slave equals slave.
So you pay them off like 5 times, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Just So it's like that, chasing that dollar on a fishing rod. Just I get you saying.
That's why, I mean, but oftentimes you see people, and I know you had to run. I just wanted to, because your mind was doing something to a trick to that title, and even the person that retitled this, you can see how easily they got it mixed up. How to sell to the Negro. That's not what the title is. The original title was The Secret of Selling the Negro.
Okay, exactly.
That's the real title.
That's the real title. See?
Yeah. No, so I'm just saying that I just wanted to bring that up because it's not exclusive to the Negro. It's, they do the same thing now, because notice when you have first generation Americans, their parents are immigrants, and they were born here, they do the same thing. They get caught into the trappings of the American consumer system.
Okay, correct.
Where their parents saved money, had a certain saving system and different economics, where we only buy if we need. They're like, well, we can't let that go on because that'll become competition for us later.
Dang. Let's say, that's to come into the back door of the local country club. Crazy. Wow, that's crazy, Judy. That's crazy. She said in the late 90s they were still doing that.
Right, but then you got white people in 1954 selling products to black people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a change. It's something behind it. That's why we had watched it on mute and saw their reaction. Like Bobby picked up something, said that they don't even know how to act. They only see on TV. And that's why I saw the uncomfortability and all that. I was like, oh, okay.
By plan, by design. They want you to think like, oh, I'm lucky to be spending my money in this store. No one should ever feel that they're lucky to spend their money with somebody. The customer is always right. See, it's things that we're taught in life that we don't listen to anymore. The customer is always right. And I don't want to be repetitive, but just think about that. Now it's gone from the customer is always right. That I want to prove that I can buy this. Let me line up to buy this iPhone. Let me line up to buy these Jordans. Let me line up to buy, and I'm not saying this is exclusive to black people. They've totally switched the paradigm to say, oh, you can't afford it. People say, oh, if you got to ask, you can't afford it.
So, but again, when you say the customer is always right, the customer could be like, I'm not able to afford that. I'm not going to make payment. You know what I'm saying? I can't buy it. But they'll switch and they'll be like, I could show you that you could buy it. I could show that you could afford it, right? But the customer is always right. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Hey.
This is why Edward Bernays and people like that were so powerful, because they played in the psychology of the consumer. You saw that with the freedom sticks and things like that we talked about on the show. Convincing you to smoke cancer on a stick as empowerment and freedom and liberty. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, they try like the Statue of Liberty, Lady Liberty, when she had a little fire thing in her hand. They said that they'll try to use that. What is that? It was on your podcast. You said one of the psychologists.
Women didn't smoke before the 1920s.
Yeah, they didn't. So they was using it as a freedom. Like one of the psychologists said that they do it for that, and I was like, wow, that do make sense, you know.
And they're doing the same thing here. This is freedom, your economic. You know, spend your money so you can show how free you are. You know what I'm saying? Become a bigger slave so you can show how free you are.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
I just want to
Yeah,
say that, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't gonna hold you up, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like, you know what I'm saying, when you did that, I was like, it's not that you did it wrong, it's the person who titled this. They did the trick, because I didn't know you was playing for two different clips. That's why I said there's no two in it.
no,
It's the
see, that's
secret
what
of
I'm
selling the
saying.
Negro.
Even I just let y'all know in the chat. Even I missed stuff. I didn't know what was going on right there. You know, and I'm
Because
glad you
somebody just
came and said that.
assumed. Yeah, somebody
Yeah,
just assumed to say it's how to sell the Negro, and it's not it. It's the our secret of selling the Negro.
you see, that's something I didn't know right there, and that's good that you brought that up because that helped me become more aware of it, especially in the 1954s when they've been playing these psychological tricks right here with the wording. That's why I'm always anal about the language and the wording. So even I missed that. So that's crazy. The
Very,
secret of
very
selling the
important.
Negro. Yeah, very
Selling
important.
the
Yeah.
Negro on Americanism. That's what it's about. Selling people on the American. And the thing is, as you see this even today in political situations, that's how they can control countries because they have them in debt and they can use sanctions to leverage them to do things they don't want to do. It's the same thing. They don't never want you to have an economic power base.
Don't want. Yep. There it is, Moe Factz. I'm about to put off the air horn for you again. Doing your thing, man. But any other last request or something that you want to state?
Oh no, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say great show as always with you and Bobby. You know what I'm saying? Getting to the weeds with, you know what I'm saying, understanding how our thought process was shaped by the things of the past. I find it fascinating, but I just want to add that my little 2 cents in on it. I appreciate you letting me hop in.
That's no problem at all. You know what I'm saying? See you this weekend, you know. Definitely got some great things to do, you know. So you had got my message on IG I sent you?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Customer service, I hear you. I hear you. You're right though. You're right.
Exactly, yeah, because they text you that. They 5 people, hey, where is it at? Where is it at? And they're gonna be like, man, Moe Factz, man. Because you know, I'm telling you, dog. I'm telling you. I just mess with you, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. I'm about to hop out of here.
All right, till next
All
time,
right.
y'all, man.